It is 4:17 inches the morning. You are standing alone in the dim light of your kitchen. The house is completely silent except for the low hum of the refrigerator. You rest your hand on the cold countertop. Next to your hand is a bottle of milk that is still slightly warm. You stare at the glowing green numbers on the microwave and feel a familiar, heavy ache in your chest. You are utterly exhausted. You are wondering for the 100th time this week if you are doing everything wrong. Earlier today at the playground, you watched other mothers casually drinking their coffee. One of them proudly announced that her baby has been sleeping through the night in his own room since he was 4 months old. Your own mother-in-law even called yesterday. She gently but firmly suggested that your child is manipulating you. She said that by bringing him into your bed, you are creating a weak and dependent adult. You probably felt a knot of guilt forming in your stomach right then. But what if I told you that in this exact moment of perceived failure, you are actually building something extraordinary? When the cortisol levels in a young child's brain cross a certain threshold during the night, every attempt you make to force them into independent sleep does not just fail. It actually slams the door shut on their cognitive development for the following day. Science is now revealing an incredible truth about babies who sleep close to their parents. They are not becoming spoiled. They are developing an unexpected cognitive advantage. We are talking about pure cognitive bandwidth and a profound foundation for high intelligence. Let us step away from the harsh judgment of society for a moment and look directly into the biology of your child's brain. Think about the nightly battle you go through. During the day, your little one might be the happiest and most curious explorer in the neighborhood. They run across the grass and babble at strangers and stack blocks with fierce determination. But the moment the sun goes down and the bedroom door closes, it is as if a switch flips inside them. They become frantic. They cling to your shirt. They stand up in their cribs sobbing until their voice turns hoarse. They refuse to transition between sleep cycles without feeling the physical weight of your hand on their chest. The parenting books, sitting on your nightstand, tell you to let them cry. The articles online warn you that if you give in and pull them into your bed, you are setting a terrible precedent. Society has convinced us that a child fighting sleep is a child asserting dominance. We are told they are testing boundaries and trying to control the household. But let us pause and really think about this from a developmental standpoint. How could a tiny human who cannot even tie their own shoes or pour a glass of water possess the complex psychological machinery required to manipulate an adult at 2 in the morning? The truth is, your child is not fighting sleep. Your child is fighting the biological terror of being isolated. For millions of years, human infants survived solely because they remained in constant physical contact with their caregivers. When you place a highly sensitive child alone in a dark room, their immature nervous system does not understand that they are safe in a modern house with locked doors. Their brain perceives isolation as a literal threat to their survival. This is where the amygdala takes over. The amygdala is the ancient alarm system located deep within the brain. When your child feels disconnected from you in the dark, this alarm bell rings violently. Their tiny body is flooded with cortisol and adrenaline. They are suddenly thrust into a state of fight or flight. In this state of high alert, the brain actively shuts down its higher order functions. The prefrontal cortex, which handles logic and language and emotional regulation, goes completely offline. This is exactly why standing in the doorway and explaining that it is time to sleep never works. You cannot rationalize with a nervous system that believes it is fighting for its life. Now let us look at what happens when you do the opposite of what the strict training methods suggest. Let us look at what happens when you bring that child close to you. When you share a sleeping space or lie next to them until their breathing slows down, a biological miracle occurs. This is a scientifically documented process known as co-regulation. Your mature nervous system acts as an external pacemaker for their chaotic one. They smell the familiar scent of your skin. They hear the steady rhythm of your heartbeat. They feel the ambient heat radiating from your body. These sensory inputs send an immediate override signal to their amygdala. The alarm turns off. The cortisol levels plummet. Their muscles unclench, and they finally surrender to the deep, restorative stages of sleep. But the magic does not stop at sleep. This drop in cortisol is the key to unlocking their cognitive potential. The human brain only has a limited amount of energy to spend. We call this cognitive bandwidth. When a child is forced to sleep alone before they are developmentally ready, they spend a massive portion of their neurological energy just trying to manage their own anxiety. They are essentially keeping one eye open to scan for danger in the dark. But when your physical presence removes that anxiety entirely, their brain no longer has to waste power on survival. 100% of that cognitive bandwidth is instantly freed up. While they sleep peacefully beside you, that freed energy is redirected toward neuroplasticity. Their brain is busy building complex neural pathways. It is consolidating the memories of the day. It is processing new vocabulary words they heard at the park. It is organizing spatial reasoning skills they practiced while stacking blocks. You are not spoiling them by sleeping next to them. You are actively providing the exact biological environment their brain requires to grow smarter and more focused. This brings us to one of the most misunderstood concepts in modern parenting, the concept of the secure base. Many of us were raised to believe that independence is something you must forcefully teach a child through early separation. We are led to think that if we push them away and force them to handle their own fear in the dark, they will eventually learn to be brave and self-sufficient. But developmental psychology shows us the exact opposite is true. True independence does not come from being forced to stand alone before you are developmentally ready. It comes from a deep and unwavering internal belief that you are entirely safe. Think of your child as a small ship preparing to explore a vast and unpredictable ocean. A ship cannot safely sail into the unknown if its anchor is fragile or disconnected. You are that anchor. When you respond to their nighttime fears with warmth instead of frustration and strict rules, you are proving that their secure base is unbreakable. The children who eventually show the highest levels of daytime confidence and cognitive curiosity are very often the ones who receive the most profound nighttime reassurance. Because their brains do not have to worry about whether they are loved or protected, they can focus all their intellectual energy on learning how the world works. You might be quietly asking yourself if this means you will have to share your bed until they leave for college. It is a common and very valid fear, especially when you are operating on 2 hours of fragmented sleep. But the answer is absolutely not. Co-sleeping or room sharing is not a permanent trap that you are falling into. It is a passing developmental season. As your child grows and their prefrontal cortex matures, they will gradually internalize your physical presence. They will eventually learn to self-soothe, not because they gave up on you answering their desperate cries, but because they carry the permanent memory of your comfort inside their own mind. One day they will roll over and fall asleep on their own without needing to hold your hand or feel your breath. And they will do it with a brain that is fundamentally wired for trust and high cognitive function, rather than anxiety and mere survival. So let us go back to that quiet kitchen at 4 in the morning. Let us look at you standing there with the warm bottle and the heavy, exhausted eyes. You are not a failing parent who gave up on sleep training. You are not creating a weak or manipulative child. You are the essential biological regulator of a rapidly growing human brain. Raising a child is not about controlling their every behavior or forcing them into convenient societal schedules. It is about walking alongside a nervous system that is still learning how to exist in this overwhelming world. The next time you lie down next to your child and feel their breathing finally synchronize with yours, I want you to close your eyes and let go of all the heavy guilt. Your gentle presence in the dark is the most powerful investment you can make in their future intelligence and emotional stability. Your warmth is quite literally building a better and more capable brain. If this message brought you peace and validation tonight, please do not keep it to yourself. Like this video and share it with another exhausted mother who desperately needs to hear that she is doing a wonderful job. Subscribe to our channel and leave a comment below telling us about your own nighttime struggles and victories. We read every single one, and we are in this together. But wait, before you go, you should know that sleep is only half of the parenting story. Have you ever been playing happily with your child when suddenly they lean in and bite your arm or pinch your skin for no apparent reason? It feels like an aggressive attack, but it is actually a deeply hidden secret language of their nervous system. We will decode exactly what that painful little bite really means in our next video.